Good morning, and once again, welcome to Muhlenberg. I'm so honored to be able to share this day and my experiences with you all. As Chris said, I'm a junior here at Muhlenberg, and I attended Through the Red Doors 3 years ago as a high school senior. I will never forget sitting here in Memorial Hall and thinking, oh no, everyone is staring at me. Now, 3 years later, I somehow find myself back here in Memorial Hall thinking, oh no, everyone really is staring at me. During my Through the Red Doors experience, I sat next to a girl I'd met on Facebook who I had already chosen to be my roommate for the next year. Very luckily for me, Coco from Massachusetts turned out to be one of the most intelligent, caring, and key people in my Muhlenberg experience so far. And yes, everyone on our freshman hall knew our names immediately, because walking by a door that says Coco and Dempsey is hard to forget. Like many of you sitting here today, I applied to Muhlenberg Early Decision, and by the time I arrived at Through the Red Doors, I had known my college decision for months. Coming from a performing arts high school where many of the students go on to attend a conservatory, it was not exactly expected that I would choose to attend a liberal arts college. But not just any liberal arts college. A college with the #1 theater program in the country, where I could get a broad education, join a sorority, watch a lacrosse game, and prepare to become a citizen of the world. I now know that making the choice to come to Muhlenberg and get a liberal arts education was the best decision I could have made. My first semester here, I was cast in a main stage play, and I was overjoyed. I pretty much slept, ate, and rehearsed. But my comfortable, happy theater bubble ended when the show closed. The admission counselor I had interviewed with during my application process, Sonia, had kept a close watch over me when I first came and was, to my delight and surprise, an amazing resource for me on campus, and still is. In November, I got a text from her asking me why I didn't come to the informational meeting about applying to be a tour guide. The real reason was that I didn't have any desire to be a tour guide, at all. As a freshman, putting myself out there for an experience that wasn't in my wheelhouse of theater sounded like one of the scariest things I could do. Plus, less time to perfect my craft, or less time to watch the entirety of Friends on Netflix. But I also didn't want to let Sonia down, so I decided to apply. Not to ruin the ending, but I ended up getting the position, and I was hooked. I had never been told before, however indirectly, that I could be good at things that weren't theater. Without that success, I would not have gained the confidence to apply for so many other organizations, like the Cardinal Key Society that interacts with alumni when they return to campus, or to be a writing tutor, helping students across all disciplines improve their writing, or to be an orientation leader and work tirelessly for the first 4 days of my own school year to make sure the new class feels at home. Don't get me wrong, I've had plenty of disappointments and rejection at Muhlenberg, but all it took for me to gain confidence was having one person see me and say, I could see you doing this, too. Muhlenberg's community has provided me with a multitude of people suggesting and supporting each new endeavor I take on. It's one of the best things about our community, and it's an important way that Muhlenberg opens doors to new opportunities and possibilities for all of its students. That message hasn't just come from the staff, but the faculty as well. In my first year here, on a whim, I signed up for the Art of Creative Writing. During the 5th week of the class, I showed up in Professor Linda Miller's office for a one-on-one meeting about one of my poems. To my surprise, she handed me back both my poem and the form to be a creative writing minor. I was so touched and surprised that someone I had come to respect so much saw potential in me that I signed the form that day in her office. Today, she is not only my advisor, but I am now taking class with her for the 3rd time, a class through our Muhlenberg Integrated Learning Abroad program, which will culminate in a 2-week trip to northern Italy at the end of this semester. There, I will stay alongside Professor Miller in poet Ezra Pound's castle, hiking, eating, and of course, writing. I was nervous to write this speech because I felt guilty I couldn't offer you all an end product. A version of myself that is on the cusp of graduation with a job or grad school acceptance in hand. Although I can tell you that many of my senior friends do already have job and graduate school acceptances in hand. But I have realized that I don't need that in order to understand the many ways in which Muhlenberg has already prepared me for life post-graduation. What I can offer you instead is the view of a student who has worked hard for the last 3 years to take full advantage of every opportunity to engage with this community, and someone who no longer takes any days at Muhlenberg for granted. In the 3 years I've been here, I've grown in ways I could never have imagined. From driving a golf cart around campus to raise money for the school, to standing outside on a beautiful spring day watching Jesse McCartney perform, yes, he was really here, to setting up my own living space in the library with my friends during finals week, complete with plates full of fries, large coffees, and blankets, the memories I've made here will not be forgotten. I feel so grateful to have one more year left on Chew Street. I know many of you have a major life decision ahead of you, one that I know you will not take lightly. Any of the schools you are considering would be incredibly lucky to have you, although I selfishly hope that next year on move-in day, I have the pleasure of carrying your mini fridges into your rooms. Wherever you go, my wish is that you discover the same family and opportunity that this school has given me. And for those of you who have already decided it's us, let me be the first to say, welcome home.
Thank you, Dempsey.